everybody, welcome to Sports for All. I'm your host Eden. I've got a really exciting guest on today, so do you want to introduce yourself to everybody?
Hi, I'm Akshita. I am a design researcher by profession and I run to keep myself not insane. And I'm here trying to share my 2 cents on whatever little I know about running and hoping to be a part of this larger community around the world and continue doing it consistently.
Amazing. It's so good to have you. I cannot wait to hear more. So do you want to tell us a bit about like how you started running? Maybe also if you've been involved in like any other sports as well when you were younger. So yeah, kind of share your journey so far, I guess.
I think for me, sports started off with basketball during high school. I went off to play state level games through my high school, and then I had to take studies seriously, so I had to quit that. I had a injury during my uni, so I couldn't do any sorts of sports activities for a long time. And it's just after 1 year after I moved to Germany when I started redeveloping and rekindling my love towards the outdoors. And the 1 year I was in Germany before, and I just could not stop. And I had all these friends who were running, and I just tried it one time, and it became something that keeps me going, keeps me consistent, keeps me in shape at the same time, and also helps so much with the mental health, especially with the things that keep going on career-wise, economically, and everything. So I think running for me became this thing that just I can't be without anymore. And when I don't run, I feel like I would go insane. But when I continue running, I feel that life can be easy.
Yeah, I love that. I think you're so right. Like, I think you can just like really escape like from everything when you're running. I'm really
Mm-hmm.
interested. Do you like listening to like podcasts or music, or are you just like a absorb myself in nature kind of runner? Like what's your kind of vibe when you're running?
It started off with music, Linkin Park,
Oh,
on
nice.
top to top it
Yeah.
all, along with Nothing But Thieves. And then I realized that maybe I could try doing this without music and actually feeling how I'm feeling and going through the struggle at the same time. And it's been almost 2 months that I've been running without music. It is a bit harder, I would say, but
Yeah.
I also realized that it has made me feel more connected to my body and what I can do and what I can't do. And I realized that it's also beyond personal bests or paces. It's just doing something you like and just showing up whenever you can.
Yeah, I love that. I think you're so right. I think it definitely brings a different experience like without music, but like
Mm.
you can really kind of like absorb yourself in it then in that sense. Like yeah,
Yeah.
even like the hard parts as well. I feel like you can it kind of helps you to kind of realize when your body maybe needs more support and stuff as well. Like you can kind of
Hmm.
get more into tune to your body as well, I feel like.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Amazing. So my next question is, what are some of your big inspirations in sports, but also like outside of sport as well? It's quite a big question, but yeah.
Um, it's a bit of an unconventional approach I have because I started off running with thinking that I would be a full-time marathoner someday or something. But the more I got into it, I realized that the biggest inspiration I have is just who I was before and what I can be later. So there are people, of course, who I follow and who I admire, and all of the friends I have who are very, very good at running. But I realized that it's just more about showing up, more about being better than you were, or sometimes just not being better, sometimes just accepting who you are at the same time. So for me, it was more of self acceptance and realization that it's okay if you don't hit all the four paces or the five paces all the time. You can just run, find a forest, find a nice path, snack on pizzas if you want, and just continue doing this thing you like. And after which you can have a donut and a cup of coffee.
Literally the best way to end it.
Exactly.
Yeah. I love that answer so much. I feel like, yeah, like showing up for yourself and showing up for like that past version of you as well is like is so important. And yeah, being your own inspiration. I really love that answer. Amazing. Thank you so
Hmm.
much. Um, so my next question is, what skills have you learned from like being involved in running, and how have they helped you in like your career and also more aspects, like all aspects of your life, really?
Running completely changed my life to begin with. I
Wow.
started running when I was going through a tough time mentally because I had just graduated. I was trying to navigate the spectrum of finding a PhD in Germany, learn the language and everything. And at the same time, I just realized that this one activity, the 1 hour of the activity I do sometimes, makes my brain feel things that I have not felt otherwise. And it just feels like you're living in this bubble. And while you're running, you escape the bubble briefly and you feel alive. I feel like I can do everything. I feel like all these ideas I have are great. My life is great. Everything is achievable. And it's just, I don't know, maybe it's the runner's high or something, but something flips when I run. And the biggest skill I learned was believing in things having to change, you know. Optimism was the biggest thing that came into my life, especially after how negative things had made me feel during that time. Along with that, I developed this thing called discipline, which I didn't have before because I'm not a morning person. I would rather sleep in the morning, but it's not like I wake up at 5 in the morning, but it gave me a reason to wake up. And
Yeah.
at the same time, I really enjoy the snacks. So it gave me this sense of control over what I eat. I started thinking of this protein intake area. I started thinking about fiber and my diet and what I do or what I eat in a day. And now I myself don't eat from outside. I eat everything I cook, and I think I'm a really good cook with Indian food. So so far so good for me. My skills have been I became better at cooking because I wanted to cook better food, and I realized you can't find better food unless you make it yourself mostly. So there's cooking, there's discipline, there's optimism, and to top it all, I think my music taste really also increased because sometimes when I started exploring more bands and more genres. I went beyond rock and just EDM into slower music as well for zone two runs. So it really opened up very big avenues for me, and at the same time, very little minute changes in my life that I became a whole different person. I think it's almost going to be 1 year since I started running. I started in October last year. And in this 1 year, I have seen so many changes in myself. And I just feel so happy and privileged to be a part of this community where people help each other out and people stay there for each other, people motivate each other, and are just there to, you know, be a cheerleader.
Yeah, absolutely. It definitely sounds like it's had so many like amazing benefits for you. Like even not just like the normal kind of, I don't know, like the stereotypical kind of motivation, determination, like obviously those are really important, but like even like other aspects of your life, like your overall
Hmm.
health and like even like your music taste as well, like that's really interesting. I
Hmm.
guess like trying different songs and seeing whether or not like they make you feel like invincible when
Yeah,
you're out running
exactly.
is like so important
Hmm.
to see what kind of works and what doesn't work. And like really interesting points about like food and diet as well. I feel like it makes you like really think about more about like what do I actually like want to be putting into my body and like what will fuel me and what will like yeah, like help me, I guess.
Like mindfulness mostly. You think before you do anything, you eat anything, and it's being more present in the moment at the same
Yeah,
time.
exactly. That's so important. And I think that's so important in like all aspects of your life as well as like not taking things for granted and just like being really mindful of what you're doing and yeah, just
Hmm.
like
Hmm.
appreciating the small things. I was actually talking to my friend about about this recently and it's like you just like if that one little great good thing that you did that day was like put on a nice song and like go for a run or go for a walk, like it's one nicer thing to like look forward to in the day and just have like that kind of appreciativeness of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a great answer again. I'm loving our conversation. So we,
Likewise.
yeah,
I like that
uh,
we both agree on a lot of things.
yeah, we really do.
Hmm.
So my next question is kind of a little bit different. What do you think some barriers and challenges are that people might face getting involved in running? And do you have any like advice or ways they can overcome these challenges?
Um, I can talk about the challenges I face, and I realize that maybe a lot of people do have these, but don't talk about it because I introduced two of my friends to running, and all of us had the same thing about wanting to be faster. And we realized that we had these pain in our knees because the thing is, when we start off, we want to be very good at it. We want to be consistent at it, which is great. But we forget that our bodies are not used to that sort of activity. So strength training is the most important thing a runner can do. I have this set of dumbbells and I have resistance bands. That's all I have, and I try to make the best out of it and try to strengthen my hip flexors, my knees, my quads, my calves, everything. And at the same time, I just feel that if I didn't do this, I would always be in pain. And
Yeah.
why would you want to go through an activity you really like but in pain? It shouldn't be a punishment. It should be something your body uses to relax or to get away from the world.
Yeah.
So strength training is the most important advice I would give to everyone. It's not that I can lift 100 kilos or something, but it's just I try to incorporate it in my life as much as I can. So I try to alternate between strength training and running so that I don't overdo anything. The thing is, we forget that our bodies need time and so much time to get used to the fact that now we do this activity, we have this active lifestyle, so we need time to adjust, we need to fuel ourselves, we need to forget about wanting to be the best out there or wanting to just run those paces. It's just keep doing it, you're going to get better. And I know it's very easy to say because sometimes I fall into the same trap. For I can give you an example that I came to India, and India is at a higher elevation than Germany. So where I'm from in northern India, that's at an elevation of 1450 meters.
Wow.
So that's really high
Yeah.
comparatively to a very flatter area. So I realized my heart rate just spiked, and it was really hard to be at those paces. And I realized that okay, I need to be humbled from time to time. Everything is not about pace, it's just enjoying. I didn't enjoy that run at all. I could have enjoyed it if I did it slower, if I did it trying to be one with my own body and trying to understand that my body would need time to adjust to a different scenario. It doesn't have to be traveling, it could be just like, for example, I'm recovering from sickness right now. I went for a run this morning. I have done a half marathon, but 4 kilometers seemed too hard today.
Yeah.
So some days it will seem like the end of the world, and some days you will do a full marathon and do not feel a thing. Our bodies keep on oscillating between the best and the worst. It's just the little gray zone where the normal is. That is where I try to exist and try to keep myself sane and not compare myself to anyone out there, because nobody has been through the same things I have, and nobody can ever understand my struggles. So I will take my time, I will go through my things, and one day, if it has to, I might become very good at it. If not, I don't mind being average at something that I really enjoy.
Yeah, I so agree. I think taking those days that maybe aren't like as productive or as like maybe you haven't reached what you maybe intended to set yourself that goal that day, like not, I think it's so important, like you were saying, like not to be so hard on yourself. Like
Hmm.
you're always going to get days like that that don't go your way and you don't maybe run as far or as fast or as you might have expected or might have intended to
Hmm.
set out. But yeah, it's just important just to keep like the consistency, I feel like, and try and like not let that hold you back, like even if that
Yeah.
happens. So important. And yeah, I love what you said about like the strength and conditioning and stuff. Like our bodies like don't just go from like not being able to run to like being able to run a marathon. Like you have to put in the work and like you have to
Hmm.
pace yourself and like make sure that you're yeah, you're really looking after your body because it's not meant to just do these things like without any kind of support in place already.
Exactly,
And like
exactly.
that resistance and the build up and stuff, like yeah, it's so important to have those foundations and be able to like keep doing that as well. Like obviously to prevent
Mm,
injury, but just to like help your body like get used to the
yeah. To
distances and stuff.
continue doing that thing, for as long as you want to.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's so so important. So my last question, I know I'm crazy. What what advice would you give to a young person who wants to start running, but who might not have the confidence to start?
Um, I always wanted to run, and I was very scared to go out in the forest alone. So I used to take one of my friends with me, and we used to try running for 2 minutes, and then we used to stop. I tried that a couple of times, and I realized we used to sprint all the time because the society or the world tries to tell us that running means being fast.
Yeah.
We forget that jogging is also a part of running. They're not supposed to be separate things from each other. They're not independent. And I would just say, for me, it was scary to be out there alone. So I had someone go with me, try to, even if they're walking, just be there for me for emotional and moral support. And then eventually I started enjoying being by myself outside. So, and steer clear of Strava for a long time because Strava became a problem for me. I used to look at all these kilometers I did and think that, oh, I should be doing more. But it's not about doing more in the beginning, it's just about doing it.
Yeah.
So I think the benchmarks have to be really low. And when you're trying a new thing, you need to give yourself the space to do mistakes, to not being able to be the best one out there. And it's fine if you want people around. It's fine if you don't like a particular path. It's fine if you don't feel like running more than 2 kilometers. Do your 2 kilometers and stop after that. We forget this thing. That is what my point is. We forget that we have free will. We're
Yeah.
lucky enough to have free will. Nobody is trying to tell us that a run shorter than 5 kilometers is not a run. No, that is what we tell ourselves. And I have found myself in the same spot multiple times. So today I stopped at 3.93 kilometers. And my brain was trying to tell me, oh, you can do 1 kilometer more because you hit five, then it will be a real run. No, a real run is going outside and running.
Yeah.
That's it. So I
Yeah.
think benchmarks really need to be lowered and just showing up matters in the beginning. And it is scary to be alone. So it's really great if you start off with a friend or someone you know already is running. So you could maybe ask them if you can join them for a run. And eventually you'll find this group of people, or even if you don't find a group of people, you'll find an outlet for yourself. For me, it was an outlet. I started running by myself, and it became something I did whenever I felt anxious. And to this day, it is that thing, and I can't be without that. So I would just say, lower all the standards, just do something, find a way to do something, whatever is your situation, whatever is wherever you are. Find a person who runs, or just go out there and say the name of God if you believe in God, or say name of any person you believe in, and just go out there and do whatever activity you want. And it's scary. It is very scary. But if we don't do it, how would we know?
Exactly. I so agree that so many good pieces of advice there. I think, yeah, just going for it, and I think trying not to like beat yourself up even before you've even gone out there to try it. Like trying to, I don't know, just get out of your own head and getting
Hmm.
somebody as well to like help you like hold yourself accountable, I think is really,
Hmm.
really, really key. But yeah, you're so right. Like it is scary, but like once you've gone out there and once you've done it, like you feel like you feel so much better for it, like even mentally. Like, um
Exactly.
yeah.
Hmm.
So it's so important just to take that first step and just try not to beat yourself up about it. Even like when you're out there and maybe you don't hit that 5K mark, like you've at least you've shown up, you've gone out, you've got ready, you've ran for maybe only 5 minutes, but that's still a start.
Yeah,
And I think that's so important. And I think yeah, people can get really in their head about it, and yeah, it can be
definitely.
kind of hard.
I
So
mean, it's not the fault of people also, you know. It's the algorithm that tries to tell us that there is always somebody who's better than you out there. So it can get really intimidating before beginning something as well.
yeah, absolutely. It's society is just like the algorithm and like the things you see on social media, and even like you just hear from people that you talk to, like
Mm,
I think we like often try and like we often compare ourselves, don't we? And sometimes it can be hard to get out of that cycle, but just taking like a
right.
small step towards our goals and or getting out there, or yeah, it's so important just to take that first step, even though it can be really hard.
Hmm.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much for coming on my show. It's been so great to chat to you. I'm feeling really, really motivated, and yeah, I'm sure everybody else will really love listening as well. So yeah, thank you so much.
I'm really glad to be a part of it. And if I must say, it is a great initiative that you're doing this. And I just hope, even if I'm able to help one person, that is a win for me. So I'm just happy to be there, happy to be speaking about this, happy to be a part of this community around the world with strangers I don't even know. And happy to continue doing this one activity that makes me feel alive. And I hope that whoever wants to start this activity, don't worry. It's all of us are in this together. We were all terrified. I am still terrified of running in a new place to this date. Be smart about it. Find a way to do that. I always go with a friend if I'm anxious with the place. So you will find your way, and it's not impossible to do this thing if you want to just set your mind to it.
That is such a perfect way to end. And yeah, I'm so grateful for you coming on, and I hope everybody loves listening, and I'm sure they will. So thank you so much.
I'm so glad to be a part of this. Thank you.
Thank you so much for listening to my podcast. If you want to connect with me further, you can find me on LinkedIn at Eden Byrne, and be sure to check out all the other amazing podcasts on Be the Change Media Network.